we're done with beans. Time for a quick little recap. We see that rim doesn't match. Yep. Sorry I didn't get to see a whole lot of bean action there at the very end, but we had this happen. Apparently this happened at like the very last strip of beans. We knew we were living on borrowed time with this tire because you see the sidewall is kind of ugly there. Well, it wasn't pretty beforehand. So we knew that one was on the way out. We're going to swap over the heads and we're going to go attack some corn today, hopefully. So we're going to start a new video with the corn head and the corn. But yes, a quick little recap. This was a front tire on the 14, and then I got new tires for it. That one was good, so we kept it as a spare. We're going to quick go over to the grain truck and look at the beans. Everything looks good on the combine, I guess. It made it home and the beans are done. Probably wasted a little bit of time on those. I don't know. We'll go see how many beans we got. We're looking in the grain truck. These are the very last of the beans. I guess we can hop down in here. They look good. They don't look nasty or anything. Not moldy. Oh, but look at that. Hopefully you can see that as well as I can see it. They are definitely not the driest. So that's why there's a lot of space in here. Because we still have all these other wagon loads of beans. The heaping one over there, there's a wagon load of beans on the other side of it. Those are both Dad's. I guess I can quick hop out here real quick. Okay, now I can see all the world. Sort of. As long as I don't fall. Yeah, those two wagon loads are Dad's. I've got these 2 and we'll say 3/4. And then 5 more wagon loads of beans in the other barn to make somebody else's problem. This wagon load, I know, or was testing 14%, but they sound dry when I step on them. If you remembered when I fell in the box on the grain truck just a second ago, those didn't sound dry. The beans sounded soft. I mean, those ones sound pretty dry. And those don't sound bad. You know, just tapping your foot. That's totally scientific, obviously. So, yes, that was bean harvest. Yeah, if you saw when you were in there, I don't even know if that's 50 bushel. Did we waste our time? But, you know, it's a few $100s more beans that we didn't have. I guess we're going to make every penny count. So, we're going to have to beat corn today. We're going to get the corn in. Other than Monday night, we're going to have some showers come through. It's freezing cold right now. The ground is froze-ish. We're going to hopefully keep that streak going. And today, tomorrow, this week, hit the ground on corn in one way or another. It's getting done. I do have a bunch that I want to ear pick. We'll see how that goes. Well, I want to ear pick it because I have a buyer lined up and ready. He's waiting. Cash in hand wants 1,000 bushel, we'll say. Or as much as I can get him, because he said he's way short. Whatever. I don't care what he's doing with it. Feeding cows, feeding deer, selling it. Oh well. We'll talk more about that when we get to harvesting corn. Which will be the next video, so I'll see you guys later. Happy farming. And don't freeze, but I do love the frozen weather. Makes the ground so much more solid. Hello, Bame Farm fans. It is Sunday, January 27th. And the combine needs a shot of ether. Even though we had it plugged in, it's a slow churn. Beans were a little dusty yesterday. You ready? Okay, go. Well, we'll see how that goes. We have 3 batteries instead of standard 2 hooked up in series for this to crank it over faster or longer, but apparently the cold was just a little too much. So the ether got us going. Yeehaw, we gotta drop the bean head and it's time for corn. Well, as you saw in the last video, we had a lot of beans in the hoop barn. So we're gonna just kind of drop the head out of the way, slightly off the gravel here. So when we're done and it's probably raining and nasty and muddy, we can nicely collect the head just off the edge of the gravel here. That's plenty good. Use your brakes, back up. We're getting super close. I gotta get one bolt out over here. See if there's enough pressure off. Not yet. Keep going down. Oh wait, that's not working. That's backwards. Go up. We're gonna need a hammer or something. I gotta twist this one out by hand. This is gonna take a long time. At least the head never will ever fall off. Oh, wish I had a ratchet. Hopefully this thing will turn out. Time for some spinning. I don't know how other combine heads attach, whether they have bolts to permanently affix them, whether they just rely on clamps or other things. Get the tire out of the way. How they hold them on. Let's see, after church this morning, ran into a couple farming buddies from school. They've since, moved away and they might not be farming anymore, but they said on the way back there's still a lot of, I don't know, for this time of year, still a lot of corn and beans in the field. So that makes me feel better. We got the bolt out. Is yours still in?
Yeah.
No. Going down wasn't helping.
Okay.
I don't know if we could go up, but usually it's only a problem when you put it in.
Yeah.
Because there's something usually wedged between the top of the feeder house and the head right here, like some grain of sorts.
You pick up the other 3/4 wrench?
Yeah, that's the one I'm using right there. So I guess I don't need that in my pocket. Or these. Looks like we have separation. Good news is I'm gonna be able to pick it up with the combine, because sometimes this has, like grain tables, you gotta watch out that they don't roll away. And we didn't, because many times when we take this off, we have a big board we stick underneath the sickle out front to keep the head from rolling forward. Well, let's go across the lot here. I'm gonna lift it up a little bit. Go up, go up, go up. Lift it up. Okay, we're not dragging stuff. Okay. He was dragging the little latches for the bottom of the head, which the grain head, the throat doesn't get anywhere close to the ground. Yeah, I hate having this sit outside, but I guess we don't look too worse for wear. Chains aren't too orange from rust. We'll have to obviously oil those up. Yeah, the problem is the bean head goes in and the corn head usually sits in front of the combine in that hoop barn. So we have to have the corn head out of the way to get to the bean head. So everything's a big game of Tetris, getting it all in the barn. Wouldn't know what to do with ample barn space. Okay, here he comes. Time for the corn head, because we've only switched heads like only twice this year. Ooh, maybe we should clean the beans out. Hold on. There's a lot of nasty beans in there. Should we remove those? What do you think? Hold on a second. Of course, there's ice. That's not gonna think. And frozen beans. Can I get the hammer? This just might go smoother with less stuff, hopefully. yeah, I just thought of this. I want to say thanks to One Lonely Farmer for the shout out. You know, that by the time this video gets made or gets edited, that will have been a couple weeks ago now. That was very nice of him. But I'm glad he sees some of him in me, which, you know, I guess I would be, I guess I could be more something. I probably would be more like him on camera, I think. I don't know. I try not to be too controversial. I just show off the old machines. Try to keep things happy, upbeat, right? And really calm. Oh, so nothing against, I have nothing against One Lonely Farmer. I really like him, it's really nice. Oh, I'm sure he's watching this maybe. But I don't want to take his video style. Okay, we're gonna pretend like that's clean, as good as I can get it, except for that bean. Here we go. Ooh, it could be way off over here. Nope, okay, straightforward. What's it look like in there? Darkness? That's probably good, go up. That's really good. We have connection. Yeah, time to go for a ride. I guess we're gonna spin around since the fuel tank. You gotta spin it around, we'll put fuel in it while we're hooking it up. You can't hear me that well apparently. You're gonna spin the combine around, we'll put fuel in it while somebody's hooking it up.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go for a ride right here. Might not be a good spot once we get moving in the field. Let's see how the corn has survived. You know, it's end of January. I mean, unfortunately, this has become too much of a common occurrence the last couple of years. You know, with the weather being out forever, harvesting all times of the winter. We've gotten, last year we finished up before spring with the last bit of dance corn. You know, maybe it's the problem is I have these big hopes of being done before Thanksgiving. Because everything I have big hopes and dreams of usually just gets absolutely pooped on. Like having that grain bin finished, having 2 combines going. It hasn't been, you know, totally life or death. Oh, we'll hop off now. Give them some direction. It's easier now that we have the corn head on the combine. We can get the combine much closer to the fuel tanks. So when we were fueling up for beans, we had the corn head back there. So we did put new mirrors on this year. They were getting really tough. Just many years of getting whacked by branches. And we finally put new ones on. So now Dad can see. I'd say that's good. Oh, I hate having fuel in this tank, so we're gonna go ahead and use this one with our handy dandy fuel wire. Instead of everybody has like a rock or something to hold the handle open, we have our handy dandy fuel wire. It won't get lost because it is wrapped around the hose and it holds the handle open just nicely. We got enough to reach.
Need me back farther?
I think that's enough to reach. It's not super close. Oh, here's our wire. Now the best part is pumping out of this thing. Now we're gonna take a look here. I don't think anybody ever intended these 275 gallon tanks for your basement fuel oil furnaces to be fuel tanks, but you use what we can. So the handle is, you know, above my head, and this thing takes quite a few pumps. So we're gonna do something a little different and get creative. Giddy up horsey. So see how many weird comments you get about this, but it's so much nicer because this puts the handle at chest level and I can sit down and be lazy. Yep, and just pump and pump and pump. So while I'm pumping and Dad's putting the head on, We'll get back to you guys shortly. Well, yet again, here we have another video featuring the lovely aluminum elevator. Because we have beans in a wagon, and this wagon, for some dumb reason, doesn't necessarily trail very well. Now, we brought it home quite a distance, and it trailed well until I greased the spindles. And then it went downhill from there. So it trailed home because it was rusty in the steering parts. So what have we learned? Don't grease your steering parts so it stays tight. Now in the truck, we have those wet beans from yesterday. I'm going to add some more beans. These tested like 17 something on my little handheld. Yeah, so they're not super dry. I have drier beans. However, this wagon doesn't trail well, and it's needing a tire, because the name of the game is tires. At least we were able to get it home like that. Didn't know that happened. So we were going to empty it out so it's a little safer putting a new tire on it instead of doing it full. Because you all know how well that goes for me. Yeah, I've learned my lesson to use wood blocks, not concrete. So let's plug it in and see what kind of mess we can make. Well, a little bit of mess from here, corn. Here comes the beans. Well, I hope some of the beans are making it up the elevator. I hope. Let's go take a look. Oh, there's a few spilling in. Hopefully more than what's getting piled up on the ground. It's not very promising, I know. Oh, boy. We'll see how long this lasts. They're getting up there. I'm going to be here all afternoon, though. Maybe we'll look at a different option. I didn't want to have to get out the big auger because, well, it's moving that thing around with the power lines. But I think there's more on the ground than we've gotten in the truck. I don't know how long we can just, let it pile up down here. So eventually it's scooping the pile back through. Something is falling in. A little bit of sling. It's not speedy. However, it's sort of conveniently set up by my lonesome right now. Dad is out harvesting corn. He'll probably be full of corn before I get these beans transferred. I did open it up a bit. Now let's go take a look and see how the elevator's doing. I figure there has to be a limit to the pile. At some point there'll just be so much pile that it will pull it back through underneath the bottom here. It's pulling up the beams, or at least it looks like it. Well, let's take a look up top and see what's happened. They're going down. It'll take a good long minute to get them moved.